Hello and welcome to the final week of our Nintendo Switch 2 countdown. We're in week 19, which is as I said, the final week because there's just 1 week to go. I'm recording this on Wednesday the 28th, so it's technically 8 days. Obviously this time next week will be the launch week. I won't be able to do another video next week because I'm busy working, so I can have time off for the Switch 2. So this will be the final week of the countdown. So yeah, this week we're just going to be talking about the hype for Switch 2, how hyped I am, what I'm getting, what my plans are, and just generally hyping up the Switch 2 as I've been doing this whole time really. So before we get started, if you could like and subscribe, and then also follow me on Blue Sky at mapmania.bsky.social, that would be amazing. And let's get started. So for the launch of Switch 2, I have ordered the Switch 2 bundle with Mario Kart World, the new Pro controller, the GameCube controller, a 256GB microSD card. I'm planning to get a bigger one at some point, but just for now I didn't want to have just the limited space on the console. But they're just way too expensive to get the 1TB right now, so just thought I'd get a small one for now and then in a few years get a bigger one. The official carry case, again, that's something I'm probably going to get another one of at some point, but I've got a few trips coming up like in the next few weeks, so I just wanted to have a carry case straight away, so I just thought I'd get the official one, and then hopefully they do like a Metroid one or something down the line, or there's some third-party one that's really nice and I'll get those. And then I've got all of the Zelda amiibo, so that's Tulin, Yunobo, Riju, Sidon, and then also the Kimberly amiibo from Street Fighter, even though I'm not planning on getting Street Fighter. I just really like Kimberly and I like the amiibos, so why not? I've also got a secondary pre-order, which was kind of a backup for the Switch 2 bundle again, and the with Mario Kart and the Pro controller. But luckily, somebody at work is wanting that, so either I'm going to be using that and he'll have my other one, or I'll have to. He'll buy buying one of them from me for RIP. Obviously, I'm not an asshole. And then I don't officially have it pre-ordered, but I've got these Nintendo Switch Online expansion packs. So I've got the GameCube games plus the Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom Switch 2 edition upgrades, so that's cool. And then I don't have it pre-ordered yet because I'm just going to buy it on the eShop. It's Fast Fusion from Shinen. If you've never played them before, the Fast games are just like a FD, well, probably more like a Wipeout without the items, and they're really cool, and they usually are really good looking. They had a game called The Tourist, which I believe was capable of 8K, even on the Switch, or at least on other consoles. Not that I think anyone ever used that mode, but that's just what they do. And I think they've said that there is a mode that it's like 8K downsample to 4K full Fast Fusion. So I think that's just going to be a real look at, and the games are usually good fun as well. I think it's a bit of a shame that Mario Kart is the launch title with that, because having 2 racing games is a bit annoying, but whatever. And then I'm tempted to buy either Hitman, the World of Assassination collection, or Fantasy Life I, The Girl Who Steals Time, which just got announced to be a launch title. I haven't really looked too much into Fantasy Life yet, so I'm not sure if it's something I'd like, but it seems like people are enjoying it. I like Animal Crossing, which I think it's a bit like. I think it's kind of like an RPG Animal Crossing, I think. I'll look into it and see what it's like. I also need to check the price because I think it's more expensive than I'm expecting. And Hitman, I think I've got some of it on PC, but not all of it, and it's kind of confusing now because they have like the individual things and they put them all together, but wasn't a straight upgrade. So I'll look to see like how much that would cost me compared to getting it on PC. But it does seem like a game that would be good for Switch, so I can just like do a mission in bed before going to sleep or something. Yeah, we'll see. And then the other thing I'm considering is the Welcome Tour. It's obviously more expensive than anyone expected when we saw it, but it's only, what, 7 quid, 8 quid, something like that, so it's not too bad. I'm just going to wait and see what people say online. Like if I, play Switch 2 all day and then the following day I see online people going, oh wow, the Welcome Tour is actually way more than we expected, there's this and this, then I'll probably give it a try. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. So as for launch day itself, or just launch in general, I've been lucky enough, as I kind of mentioned earlier, to get some time off work. The person who sorts out the rotors didn't want me to take like the middle of the week to middle of the week, which because I wanted to do the Thursday to Wednesday. So he said I had to do a full week. So I obviously didn't want to take the launch week because then there's like 3 days of just waiting, which kind of sucks. So I took the following week and then said I would really appreciate it if you could let me work as much as possible early in the week so I can have as much possible after week. And he's managed to get me just doing massive days on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then having the Thursday to Sunday off. So that is amazing. I'm really excited to have so much time off. And I wish there was, like a big Zelda game to play or something rather than a Mario Kart, but it's still good fun. And there's lots of other little things as well. So the night before the launch day, my plan is once I get home from work that day, I'm hoping to play a bit more Super Mario Odyssey. I'm replaying it for the 100%, so my hope is to get to the end of the main game, and then when the Switch 2 comes, I can see the upgrade and work towards getting all of the other moons that I've missed out on. And similarly, I want to try a bit of Breath of the Wild and or Tears of the Kingdom just to remind myself kind of how that looks on the Switch 1, so when I play it the following day or the day after, I can do like a comparison in my head of how much they've improved. I'd just like to see that. I mean, I will still have the Switch 1, and I do have Breath of the Wild and Kart, so I might play Switch 1 Breath of the Wild in handheld while also having Tears of the Kingdom Switch 2 edition on my Switch 2 on the TV, and just kind of do like a worst case to best case comparison, which could be quite fun. Then launch day itself, I suppose also with the upgrades I might try some of the other free upgrades like Link's Awakening, Echoes of Wisdom, Pokemon Violet, just give myself a quick reminder of how they run. But yeah, so then we'll have launch day itself. I'm hoping, so most of that, everything pre-ordered that wasn't the secondary pre-order is all from my Nintendo store, so I'm hoping early in the morning they give me a text of when it's going to be delivered. If that's not in the kind of 8 to 10 a.m. range, I'm going to make my way to Curry's, where I've got my secondary pre-order, and try and do an in-store pickup for that. And then at least I've got that one, and I can start getting that ready while I wait for the other bits to come in. And then, I have 2 of them, so then I can let my friend know at work and he can come and pick up my other one. Or, wait until I get back into work, depending on what he wants to do. So then once I've got the console itself, I'm obviously going to set it up as soon as possible. I might try and film some kind of unboxing, but I'm not sure how that's going to work. I don't really have a good setup for it. So we'll see. I'll at least take a picture of everything and post it to my Blue Sky. Yeah, then it's going to be a case of getting it set up. I am a bit worried about ruining the battery, because I think you're supposed to charge everything before you use it, but I'm assuming the console in the dock is going to be fine, so I'm going to do that. And then, because I'm also worried that the servers might struggle, because it's been confirmed now that there is a mandatory update, online update. It's presumably not anything too massive. I imagine it's not going to be 50 gigs or something. I imagine it's a few hundred megabytes maybe. But with everyone doing it all at the same time, even journalists apparently aren't getting any advanced access to the Switch 2. I think the servers could end up struggling. I would imagine they've planned this and hope that it won't. But, anything can happen. So I want to get that done ASAP, otherwise I've just got a brick I can't do anything with until the servers come back on. And also get Mario Kart World downloaded, because if I've got Mario Kart World, I'm fine. I can just keep playing that as much as I want. Hopefully I can get everything else downloaded as well, but as long as I get the mandatory update and Mario Kart World, I'm good. So I just want to get that downloaded ASAP. And then, also charge everything. I want to do this console transfer, so I can transfer everything from Switch 1 to Switch 2. I don't know how exactly that's going to work, and I hope I can get Mario Kart World downloaded and the update done before that, so then I can just do the update after that's all downloaded, or the transfer after it's all downloaded. But we'll have to see how it works. I just really don't want to lose my Animal Crossing save or my Pokemon saves. I believe all of my Pokemon now are in the bank anyway, which is on my phone, so that shouldn't be an issue. But if they do a Pokemon Violet event, I want to be able to just go onto it and not have to play through the whole game to be able to do it or something. So once all the downloads are done and the transfer is done, my plan is then to just load up Mario Kart World and just play it. Just play every part of it, just keep playing it until I get either bored or hungry or whatever else it is that's going to stop me from playing it for an extended period. When Mario Kart Wii came out, I think it was a bank holiday or half term or something, because I was off school. I was how old would I have been, like 14 or something at the time? 13, something like that. And for some reason I'd convinced my mum that she was gonna, before she went to work, she was gonna go to the store and buy it and bring it home for me. So she did that. So I think she was off work as well. Because yeah, I then just sat in my living room. I think my mum was just keeping to herself. And I just played for, it was something like 6 to 8 hours. It was to the point where my mum had to come in and tell me to stop playing and say that she would take me to McDonald's for dinner if I would stop playing. So I did, and that was when I realised that my thumb now had an imprint of the 2 button, because I was playing with motion controls. So I was holding the 2 button on the Wii remote down so much that it just embedded into my thumb. And that kind of made me go, oh, I've probably played with that a bit too much. So yeah, I can imagine something similar happening with Mario Kart World. Hopefully, I'm more adult now, so I don't know that it'll actually keep my interest for that long. Because I'm not actually a big racing fan. I do love Mario Kart, but generally speaking, I don't play a lot of racing games. So yeah, I'm at least going to be trying, Grand Prix, the knockout mode, the free roam. I can imagine the free roam kind of scratching that collection itch, because it looked like you can see how much is in like kind of every rough area, so I imagine I'll be trying to clear everything. Still don't know exactly how it all works. Like, do you have to play as the character to unlock the costumes, or like how do you know which character you need to be playing as to get the other costumes, or does it just give you random ones? And how do you unlock all these enemy ones that seem to be related to Magic Cooper? Is there any other way you have to unlock characters, etc.? So it's just going to be fun to find all that out. And I'll have some dinner at some point, I assume. In the evening, I'll probably just be trying everything else that I haven't got to yet. Maybe I will have got to some if, I play Mario Kart World for a few hours and I'm like, okay, I need to do something else. But yeah, that'll include playing the Nintendo GameCube. What are they calling it? GameCube Nintendo Classics, I think. I'll probably play each of those for like 15 to 30 minutes each, maybe. Then Breath of the Wild, I think I'm just going to play the intro of that, like that's the first run out, to just see how that looks. And then maybe a bit of like the first couple shrines or something like that. Tears of the Kingdom, I may leave that because that's one that I can see myself spending quite a lot of time in, because I kind of purposefully left myself quite a few shrines left to do and like a lot of side quests and stuff. So I can imagine once I get into that, like playing Breath of the Wild, I think will give me the idea of, okay, this is how much upgraded it is. So I might wait for that, but I might also just do a couple shrines in that because, good game. Super Mario Odyssey, like I said, I would imagine I'll, kind of go back to one world, assuming I managed to get where I wanted to, and try and get all of the moons that I missed the first time around in that world. And then just, basically I also just want to see how the upgrade is, because that's supposed to be, I think, a resolution upgrade and HDR. I think it was already pretty solid 60 frames, so I imagine that's going to stay the same. Yeah, I'm just very curious to see how that looks. Similarly, I'm going to probably try Zelda Link's Awakening or Echoes of Wisdom, probably just Link's Awakening, and then also Pokemon Violet. Pokemon Violet is the one I'm most curious to see what the upgrade is like. It could be, the biggest upgrade ever, where it, goes from 15 FPS in areas to 60 plus resolution upgrades, so it doesn't look as blurry. People still don't like the art style. I think it's fine for what it is. Don't love it, but I accept it. So yeah, that'll just be interesting to see. And then Fast Fusion, which I'll have had. Again, just want to see what it looks like really, so that'll probably just be the first. I think they have Grand Prix in those games. So I'll just be the first one or two of those. And then if I do buy either Hitman or Fantasy Life, I'll probably start one of those out as well. The Friday, that's when we've got the Summer Game Fest show in the evening. So I'm hoping I'll be able to get up quite early in the morning, go to the gym, come home, and then again just play Mario Kart or whatever else I want to play all day until quite late in the evening. Summer Game Fest, I think, is at like 9 or 10 p.m. UK time. So I'll probably play until like 7, 8-ish, and then I'm hoping to get a takeaway and then just watch some of the pre-show hype for Summer Game Fest, watch the show itself. Depending on how it goes, if it's like, okay, they're not really showing anything I'm interested in, I might, pick up the handheld and start playing a bit of Mario Kart World while it goes. I remember doing that with the Game Awards and Smash Brothers Ultimate when that came out in 2018, because I think that came out literally like an hour before the show started or something. So I played like an hour of it on TV and then switched to handheld mode to just keep playing while it showed everything. That was funny thing. So that could be similar, especially because Summer Game Fest isn't usually as exciting as Game Awards. But I also feel like this could be a good one. It feels like we're in a place where there's a lot of announcements that could be being shown that would be exciting for me. So we'll have to see what that's like. Saturday will just be nice and chill, just do whatever I want all day basically. Sunday will basically be the same as Friday, but with the Xbox show instead of Summer Game Fest. That's a little bit earlier, so I would finish earlier. And then I believe after that, I think like straight after that is the PC gaming show, which is usually A, really long, and B, has a lot of stuff I'm not personally interested in. So that'll probably be one I just put on my monitor while I play Switch 2 on my screen, and then just keep looking to see if there's anything that's interesting to me. After that, I'll have another full week off, so that'll just be literally whatever I want, whether it's Switch 2 or not. I am in the midst of playing through Clair Obscur Expedition 33, which, by the way, if you haven't played, is phenomenal. I think it's going to be at least top 10, top 5 game of the year, game of all time for me. It's that good. So I'm in Act 3 of that now, which I think means I've got like another 20-ish hours to go. We'll see. And then I've also only just really gotten started on Doom the Dark Ages. I'm enjoying it so far. I think I'm on chapter 7-ish. I just did one called like Siege Part 1. So I've got the rest of that to go. So yeah, I'll be playing those plus Switch 2, unless Mario Kart World just really fucking grips me. I can't get away from it, then I will just play that all week if I want to. But I imagine at some point I'm going to be like, oh, I need to do something that isn't racing. We'll just see how that goes for me. It will be interesting to see if Mario Kart World can keep me entertained when, you know, I've got such good other games to play. I mean, there's also a possibility that I will just decide to play something else completely random, but that's something I'll just have to wait and see. Like, I do have a Dark Souls save going on, but I'm kind of waiting until I finish those other games until I get back to that, so we'll see. So yeah, that's kind of my plan for the launch. I'm just very hyped in general. Mario Kart World is super exciting. It's the first new Mario Kart in 12, 13 years, something like that, and I do really love Mario Kart. I can't wait to see what like 100%ing this one is going to mean. Usually I just get 3 gold stars in each of the Grand Prix and then I'm kind of done with the game. I'll play some online here and there, but nothing too crazy. This one I hope will still have that, but then also has the free roam stuff of collecting everything and all these trials. They've shown some of those off on Nintendo today and they seem pretty good fun. So hopefully they are entertaining enough. I'm really curious to see what these different kind of Switch 1 games being upgraded for Switch 2 are like. So obviously we got the paid ones with Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, but then all the free ones, Mario Odyssey, Zelda Link's Awakening, Pokemon Violet. I'm really curious to see what they're all like, plus the ones that I'm probably not going to try out myself. The GameCube games, I'm really glad they're finally coming, but I don't see myself spending a lot of time on these 3 initially. Wind Waker would be the one that I'm like, oh, I'm definitely playing through that. But I'm also going to have an upgraded Tears of the Kingdom to like polish off the side stuff I missed out on. And then also a finally upgraded Link's Awakening, which I've been wanting to replay for ages, but I just, every time I do, I'm like, oh, the frame rate kind of sucks. So if that is fixed now, then I can see myself playing through that as well. So I don't think I'll play Wind Waker. F-Zero GX, I really want to play, but I've heard the story is really hard. I'm not that good at the game, so I'll probably just stick to like the Grand Prix on that and just have a bit of fun there and then move on. And Soul Calibur I do really enjoy and I want to play again, but I suck at fighting games, so I'm not going to get super into it. I'll just do some of the arcade modes, probably just Links and maybe try some of the others and then just leave it there. I'm hoping we get, what is it, I'm looking forward to on GameCube. I'll replay Luigi's Mansion because that's a short game and I really enjoy it, so whenever that comes out I'll replay it. The Fire Emblem game that's coming out I really want to play, but there's also loads of other Fire Emblem games I want to play, so we'll see what I actually get to. The Pokemon games are the ones that I think as soon as they come out I'm just going to start a playthrough of, because I started Pokemon Colosseum when it came out. I think I owned it, but for some reason I just never got very far into it. I don't know why that was. I don't know if that was hard or if I just didn't know where to go or something was stopping me. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that, especially because the starters I believe you choose between Espeon and Umbreon. And I've just recently played through Pokemon X and using a Sylveon, and that's kind of the first time I've used like an evolution properly in my main team. and I really enjoyed it. And now I'm kind of looking at all the other evolutions, like, oh, they look fun too. I saw Glaceon in, I think, the anime at some point recently, and I was like, Glaceon is cool. But yeah, I've always quite liked Umbreon, so I'll probably choose Umbreon and then go from there. I don't really know how the game is kind of set up, but I'm looking forward to seeing how it is, because people do talk about them pretty fondly. And then I'm also looking forward to just seeing like all the online content that people make, all the comparisons with the Switch upgrades, and all the games that I end up not buying, seeing what people talk about, like Welcome Tour, and then maybe that'll convince me to get it. I'm curious to see how Cyberpunk really does run. It seems really promising, so I'm really looking forward to like the Digital Foundry, like this is Switch 2 versus PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series, PC on max settings. Like, obviously I'm expecting Switch 2 to be pretty much the worst out of all of them. Hopefully better than Xbox One and PS4. I mean, it should be better than PS4 and Xbox One, but we'll see. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to seeing all the stuff like that, and I'm sure people will find little secret things that make stuff fun. They've also just said that they're updating the N64 thing, so I mean, there's too many Zelda games because I also want to replay Ocarina of Time at some point. They're adding like the rewind feature and the CRT filter and the control remapping. I mean, I have the N64 controller thing as well, so I'll probably just be using that anyway. But that's fun. The other thing that's interesting is that there have been rumors from Brazil, PH Brazil I believe he goes by, which is he's the person who first broke the news of the quote-unquote Switch 2 delay last year, where it was delayed to this year. He doesn't get everything right from what I understand, but he's got at least some pretty big things right. And he's saying that there is a Nintendo Direct coming on or around the Switch 2 launch. I believe he said either the week of or the week after. Personally, I think the week after makes the most sense. Like, they usually come out on Thursdays these days, I think. Wednesdays or Thursdays. So I think the Thursday after, like 1 week exactly after launch, makes most sense to me. I personally would like to have it like the Wednesday before, like Wednesday evening beforehand, just to like really build that hype up for the actual launch itself. But I don't think they will do that. But I didn't think they'd announce the Switch 2 on the day that Donkey Kong Country HD came out, Country Returns HD came out, and they did. And then I think the Direct was like not long after Xenoblade, so I don't think they super care about that sort of stuff. They'll just do whatever they think is right. I don't think it's going to be super crazy. Like, I don't think this is where they're going to announce the next 3 years of what games coming to the Switch 2. I think it'll mostly be what they've already announced, showing off Air Riders, showing off more of Hyrule Warriors, showing off more of Metroid Prime, getting dates for all of those, possibly Pokemon Legends ZA. I don't know if they'll be planning to do its own thing for that, but so like the last 2 Directs have had Pokemon Legends in, so maybe we'll see that. I think that they will, though, probably tease a first-party Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive for 2026. Just as like this is the year coming up to Christmas, but obviously we're going to be doing more stuff next year too, so get excited for that. And with that is the end of the Nintendo Switch 2 countdown. So I started this, I believe, 19 weeks ago, with where I was counting down to the Switch 2 Direct, and now the Switch 2 launch. So thank you very much for joining me on this journey. This has been really fun to do, and it's helped me learn a lot of things about making YouTube videos. I am planning to keep making videos, but I'm not going to immediately go into another weekly thing. I'm just going to do things here and there. Obviously there's the Summer Game Fest and Xbox Showcase, and possibly a Nintendo Direct, and possibly a PlayStation something. So I will be recording my reactions to all of those. I will upload something for one of them, I imagine, but I probably won't do full reactions to all of them, because I doubt that they're all going to be super exciting and worth watching my face for while I watch them. So I'll just post bits from them here and there if there is anything super exciting. So thank you for joining me on this journey of counting down to the Nintendo Switch 2. I hope you all have fun with your Switch 2s if you're getting one, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.